Well, boys, it's been a while, but you guys asked and we're gonna deliver. Tonight we're gonna work on
the Nissan.
More stank.
Nissan.
I think it just got more southern.
Listen, I only got one accent, and it's not anything that is real.
Alright guys, so as you guys know, the last week we've been playing with the Subarus, me and LZ. Adam decided to do maintenance like the last 4 days, and I'm not touching my car. It drives straight, it stops, and it's kind of fast. So why touch it, you know? Why put money into it? We're just gonna... We bought him to rage, so I haven't really filmed much. But we decided tonight we should get a couple things on the Sonda, because honestly I've just been dying to, and I really want to see this rear end bolted into the car. So we're playing around and actually got some things done on the side.
Yeah, no, did a little bit of prefab for you guys, and the rear end...
Martha Stewart style, you know.
Yeah, the rear end is basically set.
So last time you guys saw, we made the new section of the frame rail. We didn't notch the frames yet, but we made the section of the frame rail. Now we have to make pedestals for the front and rear of the subframe to actually bolt to. So, cut up a pedestal for the rear. This piece right here. Now it's not welded in, reinforced or anything, it's literally just hammered in place. So this is gonna be our new, I guess, cross member, as you'd call it, for our subframe to actually bolt to. So we gotta get this thing positioned up, welded in, we gotta get it collared and get the bolts through to actually bolt the subframe in. Just as importantly, but a little bit more pain in the ass, we found a really good way to make some mounting points for the front of the subframe. We were lucky to find these little tubes right here that are actually threaded. So this is a big piece of steel that actually has threads in the inside, so almost like a thread insert. Brian spent the time and notched the existing frame rail right here, so it sits right inside of it, and we could reuse the factory frame as a pedestal for the subframe. So now all I have to do is weld these in, reinforce the crap out of it, plate it, and the front's done.
It's in there, we've measured it, we've measured in an X, we've measured long ways, left ways, right ways, and
we've measured a lot. We've done a lot of measuring.
It is dead center in there, and it basically just needs to come back down. We need to prep to weld everything and get it tacked in place.
Who needs prep? Just start MIGging, dude.
No, we can't have the subframe falling out of this thing.
I got this, dude.
Let's watch Jimmy weld like Helen Keller.
Look out of here.
Yep, nice work. Nice, yeah.
Sick ground.
Going well, dude.
Great start, great start.
Yeah, just bump that welder right into the quarter. Jeez. Here we go. Yeah.
Sounded solid though.
It did sound solid. Yeah, get that wire speed up.
That's right. A tool is only the extension of the human body.
That's right.
You know? You should, if you're comfortable with your fingers, you should be comfortable with a MIG torch.
Everybody should know how to MIG.
All right, yeah, mark it up. Good technique there, B.
All right,
pull it out. All right, so of course, since this piece is hollow, we gotta sleeve it just like we did in the front frame rails. So we gotta drill a hole big enough for this tube to make a sleeve out of.
It's a big one.
Noise. So before we tack these little collars in place, we got to make sure they sit nice and flush together so it doesn't bind up. There we go. Nice snug fit. She a little tight. Ream her out a little bit.
That one's beautiful.
This one has to go in just a hair. And that's why we test fit it first.
Measure once, ream once.
This side, great first try. Drop her in. Nice. This,
a little gap on one side, but
hey, we got a MIG welder, dude.
Beautiful.
we don't suck that bad, dude.
Nope. Beautiful.
Love that.
Very happy about that.
So now we just gotta make sure the subframe is level for the 80th time.
Yep.
And then weld this piece right in.
Hey, look at that.
Oof. All right, moment of truth. Once this is in,
She's in.
ready for it, B?
I'm ready.
All right. So once I drop the jack, the Civic will be fully supporting the S13 rear end, which is a crazy thought. So keep your ears peeled for some cracks and breaks. All right, that's crazy to see.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, that's a really good feeling. It's a really good feeling. So I got to finish welding up the whole bar up top, and then we have to reinforce our threaded rod up front. We'll do that in a second, and then we got to make a pedestal, support everything, and then move on to making all the control arms work.
Yeah, so now we can like officially notch the rest of the frame rail, possibly for an axle, which you see this hole right here. There might be some axle clearance issues.
But hey, we got a sawzall. That's so good.
Yeah, dude, these things thread like butter.
After all of that, it still threads like butter. Just let it. There you go. So we have our threaded insert that's literally integrated into the frame rail, like literally shoved within it and braced to the frame rail itself, which is pretty ridiculously strong.
Yeah, that in and of itself, I'm sure. I mean, especially when we weld the inside.
We do have a nice little platform right here too that like half the bushing sits on. So we're gonna have to build more of a pedestal for it to sit on. And then we're also going to reinforce this piece one more time by actually taking this little block that B made and welding it this way. So this piece, so this piece can't move this way nor this way. There we go.
You know what I was thinking?
What's up?
Now that the front and the rear subframes are fully located, it'd be perfect time to throw this thing on the lift.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea.
All right, happy welding, brother. See you later.
Alright, so while Brian finishes welding up the rear, I'm making a little template right here. It's gonna take our ugly little platform here and turn it into something like this. That's nice and flush for the subframe to bolt onto, and then we could box it up and make it look like half decent, not just like this plethora of plates welded to a chassis. Also ignore those ugly welds. All right, check it out. So it might look like a weird, useless shape out of the car, but underneath, takes this ugly hunk right there and plates it up real nice. Weld this up here, gives it a nice spot for the bushing to actually sit on. We could box this end up and you'll never know that's even a thing. Ah! Not bad, right?
I'm excited.
Next thing we have to do is we actually have to finish notching the frame rail right here, plate that up, and then of course the big one is we never cut the frame for our upper camber arm like we said we were going to.
Which goes right here.
Right here. So we wanted to basically have this fully mounted up and reinforced before we even did that, just because it's not necessary to do it right away. And I also have to find a set of coilovers that will work. So a lot of you guys are worried about like coilover options. So I actually made like a quick template of a 240 top hat, and it's actually the same. At least it's like the same bolt pattern and everything, so it'll actually slide right in, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no modifications to the strut tower required at all. Which
is baffling. So I saw a couple people online who have done S13 runs in a Civic before. They're all hatches, and everyone makes a whole new strut tower in the rear. In our case, I think we should be able to get away with using a S13 rear coilover as long as we get really short ones. Like get something that's meant for a car that's slammed, and I think we should be good to go. So I ordered a bunch of stuff for this stuff like right before the Subaru stuff happens, and of course it's all showing up now because the holidays kind of screwed everything up. But I got a big order from ISR that I'm super pumped about. So as you guys know, Enjuku, or their house brand ISR, is probably the best bang for the buck when it comes to anything Nissan. So we got some of their really nice Pro Series control arms. So it's gonna be all adjustable. So we have our tow arms for the rear, our caster arms. We have our front high angle tension rods, since we're gonna put some decent angle on this car. These are for the hatch. So the camber arms unfortunately didn't show up. They're showing up in just a few days. Once those come in, then we can notch the frame. We wanna make sure we have the parts and not just winging it, because we want to make sure it fits. Since we're also using a KA power steering pump and an S13 rack, we can basically use a full S13 power steering kit. So I got some nice braided stainless lines, full ISR reservoir and stuff, so it's actually gonna look pretty good. I'm really pumped about that. And then of course, like a clutch line, a slave cylinder and stuff like that. And then a big order is still coming in the end of the week from Villains Drifts for everything we need to bolt up the full front suspension on the Civic, which is like a huge deal. Once all that stuff comes in, we can literally finalize the front suspension in the car and fully convert it to S13 in the front, which is, I mean, I cannot wait to see that. All right, we threw it back in here, dude. This is way too cool to see. It's like mind-blowing seeing this thing all bolted up.
That's a moment where we can actually step back and admire our handiwork a little. You know, we're making burgers out of bologna here.
Okay.
This turned out to be freaking grade A.
So the Civic's bologna, is that what you're trying to say? All right. So what's nice now at this point, we don't have to take such precise measurements. Like, it's more just making things fit.
Yeah, no, that's kind of true. Yeah.
So like, I'm pretty pumped about that. So another point I want to make real quick, because I know some of you guys have called out. Now it looks like it's not centered because the diff isn't centered on here. So if you guys look at it, it looks like it's over to the left because it is.
Yeah, the snout of the diff is actually here.
So the snout of the diff is centered, but the rear casing of it, as you can see, it sits to the left. So don't be too mind-boggled by that.
Yeah, it tricked us a couple times.
Oh, dude, this is so weird to see. Look at this. This is a rear-wheel drive Civic. Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to bolt the hubs up and everything. And, dude, I gotta find a set of wheels.
Yeah, dude, we can't be rolling on steelies.
Let us know, because I don't know Civics. Are we gonna run 15s or 16s? Like, it looks like Mike from Divine Media, he has 15s. He has like a track stance. I really like that stance. 16s, on the other hand, are kind of like hot and look kind of big on here. So let me know. If you guys are Civic guys out there, comment below. 16s, even if you're not a Civic guy, go on Google Images and look them up.
What do you run? What's your offset? Let us know in the comments.
We're trying to make this car work. We want it to drive good, so we'll see. Man, dude, now that is done, it's gonna come together real quick. So I'm pretty pumped. But we made a huge accomplishment for tonight. We're kind of out of time, steam, and materials to get anything else done tonight. But helped out him all day with his Subaru. I'm excited that we at least got some stuff on Nissan done.
Dude, I can't wait till we're driving down the road with no freaking transmission tunnel and dirt flying in our eyes. We need a quick test drive.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. But one thing I have to share, if I will focus, is yesterday I spent the day and I went through and I washed every single vehicle. Now I know some of you guys wanted me to film that just because of how insanely dusty they were, but I had a lot of work to do and I needed to get done. And look at them all. Like, do you guys remember that car being that bright? Because I don't.
Which one?
The E36.
All of them appear to be a different color than I remember.
That's how long they were dusty for. I don't even remember it looking like that.
Dude, I give you props because it's not just like you're washing your car. Like, you had to wash a fleet.
A fleet.
I'm sure that took a long time.
Hope you guys liked today's video, even though it was short. I can't say enough. I'm so pumped on having the subframe literally floating, bolted to this chassis, structurally sound. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. But hopefully tomorrow we'll be doing some fun driving with the Subarus. My car is running great. So with that, I think we're gonna end it here. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. And B.
Have a great night. Peace.